Well, welcome. Thanks for joining me for practice today. So come into your comfortable seated position. You can be sitting cross-legged if you like. Could be sitting on a block or a small stool if you prefer. So take a moment to settle into your spot. Allow your eyes to close as you start to check in with your body. So noticing if there are any parts of the body that are speaking to you today, whether it's an injury that you might be working with, or whether some part of your body is just tight or tense today. And as you're starting to notice how you feel, begin to breathe in a way that supports balance and supports ease in the body. So, breathing in through your nose, begin to feel the breath expand the chest, the rib cage, the belly, and then flowing back up and out through the nose. Feeling the breath flow in and down, and then back up and out. Bring our palms together in front of the heart. Interlace the fingers. Press the palms forward and up. And then start to reach up through one hand and up through the other side, left and right a few times. Give a little tug on your fingers. Mm. All right, let your hands separate. Take them behind your back. Interlace the fingers there. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open up across your chest. Begin to turn the head from side to side. All right, and then reach your chin up and drop it down toward your chest. Again, lifting up and dropping down. And then once more lifting and dropping. And so as you bring your head back up to center, release the hands so they can rest on your thighs and just shrug your shoulders up. Take them back and down. We'll do this a few times, shrugging up and back and down, and then once more up and back and down. All right, take your right leg out at an angle. Left leg is still folded in. And then just start to walk your right hand down your right leg until you get a little bit of a stretch in the back of that right leg. And then we'll take the left hand to the left shoulder and start to rotate. So your left elbow draws a big circle in space. A couple times in one direction. And a couple times the opposite way. All right, then sweep your left arm up alongside your head. Reaching with your left hand, squeeze and release the fingers a few times, as well as rotate through the wrist, a few times each way. All right, now as you next inhale, lift up. As you exhale, take that left hand toward the floor behind you, cross the right hand over to your left knee, and then inhale, lift tall. As you exhale, begin to twist to your left side, turn your head to look back, and then maintain the twist except for the head, which then turns back over towards the right. And so let the head and neck continuously and slowly turn side to side. Check back in with the flow of breath coming in through the nose, down toward the belly, and then back up and out through the nose again. Take one more breath. All right, unravel back to center and we'll switch the legs. So left leg out, right leg in. As before, now walk your left hand down your left leg just a little bit till you feel a bit of a stretch in the back of your left leg. And then take the right hand to the right shoulder and start to circle. So elbow draws a big circle in space. All right, change directions. All right, then take that right arm up alongside your head. Reaching with the right hand, squeeze and release the fingers a few times, as well as rotate through the wrist. All right, with your next in breath, lift up. And with your out breath, right hand comes to the floor behind you. Left hand across to your right knee. Inhale, lift tall. And exhale and twist over toward your right side. Turn the head to look back. And then maintain the twist as just the head turns back over towards the left. Allow your head to turn side to side a few times as you connect back in with and feel the breath flowing in and down, and then back up and out. All right, one more full breath. And then unravel back to center. All right, now we'll transition onto hands and knees. So as you come on to hands and knees, organize your hands under your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. If you're on a really hard surface, you might put a blanket or similar underneath your knees if you want a little extra padding. And then with hands underneath the shoulders, we'll start with a few cycles of cat and cow. So as you breathe in, belly drops, head and tail lift up. As you breathe out, tuck your tail, round your back, bring your chin toward your chest. Again, with each inhale, belly drops, head and tail lift up. Exhale, tuck, and round. All right, one more breathing in. And breathing out. All right, bring the torso back to neutral. Take your knees close together and then lift your left knee up and out to the side. Then start to circle through the hips. Your left knee is drawing a circle. Try to keep the arms relatively straight and the torso relatively still. All right, change direction, same leg. All right, the next time you inhale, reach the left leg back. Exhale, pull the left knee into the chest, round the back. Again, inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee into the chest. And one more inhale back. And exhale, knee into the chest. So as you take your left leg back this time, cross it over the right leg, drop the toes, curve your spine to the right so you're peeking back at your left foot, creating a side bend in the torso and a sense of opening up that left side of your body. All right, then bring the torso back to neutral. Pick your left leg up, step it all the way out to the left side, and then walk your hands in so that you can lift up. And then with this left leg out to the side, turn the toes so that they're facing the direction that your leg is going, and then let your left knee bend. So you're shifting your hips towards that left heel. Take your left forearm to rest on your thigh. For some, proportions might allow your hand to come down to the floor. That's also an option. And then just take your right arm up alongside your head. So I'll show you the other view. So left leg out to the side, right arm up alongside your head. So your hips are moving towards that left heel. All right, take 3 big breaths. All right, press into that left foot, lift up. Release your right arm, and then we'll step the left foot forward now into a short lunge so that the knee is roughly over the ankle. Take the right hand across to rest on your left knee, and then sweep the left hand forward and up, and back and down. Rotate a few times through your left shoulder, really reaching back. One more full breath. All right, take both hands to the floor, and then step forward into a forward fold. So your feet might be about hip distance apart or maybe a little bit wider. Can bend your knees a little bit or a lot. See how much support your low back might benefit from. So if the backs of your legs usually feel tight, start with a good bend in your knees and your torso resting on your thighs. Give the head a little shake out, yes and no. All right, and then we'll bend our knees even more to take the hands to the floor and then walk the feet back. So you come into downward facing dog. Take your hips up into the air. Lift and lower the heels a few times. All right, then release down to your knees. Take the knees close together, and this time right knee up and out to the side. Start to rotate. Again, try to localize the movement in your hips so that your arms stay straight and your torso stays relatively still. All right, change directions. All right, now the next time that you inhale, reach your right foot back. Exhale, right knee into the chest, rounding the back. Again, inhale, right leg back. Exhale, knee into the chest. And one more inhale back. And exhale, knee into the chest. So as you take your right leg back this time, cross it over the left leg, drop the toes, curve the spine to the left, so you're now peeking back at the right foot, sensing all the way up the right side of the body. All right, as you bring your torso back to neutral, pick that right leg up, swing it all the way out to the right side. Walk the hands in, lifting up. This time turning the right toes out to the right side so that you can bend your right knee and shift your hips over toward your right heel. And then either resting your right forearm on your thigh or taking that right hand down to the floor. Either way, depending on proportions. Take your left arm up alongside your head. All right, and then 3 big breaths. All right, press into your right foot, lifting up, and then release your left arm. Now we'll step the right foot forward into that same short lunge. Take the left hand across to rest on the right knee, and then sweep the right hand forward and up, and back, and down. Rotating a few times through the shoulder. All right, one more full circle. All right, then both hands to the floor, step forward once again into forward fold. Release the weight of your head. Your hands might rest on your ankles, your elbows, blocks. Again, experiment with how much you bend your knees here. Maybe you shift the weight a little bit, left side, right side. All right, take one more round of breath. And then just walk your hands up the fronts of your legs so that you rise all the way to stand. And as you come to stand, we'll turn and step wide on the mat. And then turn the right toes out towards the short edge. Left toes turn slightly in. And then take your arms over your legs. All right, as you inhale, reach both arms up. Then as you exhale, bend your right knee and take the arms back over the legs. Twice more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the right knee, reach the arms out. And one more, breathing in. And breathing out. All right, now as you inhale, keep this right knee bent. Inhale and lean back towards your left leg so your right arm goes up. Exhale, take your right forearm down to your thigh, your left arm up alongside your head. Twice more, inhale up and back. Right knee stays bent, and then exhale, shift forward. All right, one more, breathing in. And breathing out. All right, 3 rounds of breath. All right, next time you inhale, lift up, straightening that right leg, exhale, release the left arm down. All right, so we'll switch sides. So orient the feet the opposite way. So left toes turn all the way out. Right toes very slightly in. As before, arms over the legs. All right, inhale, reach up. Exhale and bend your left knee. Take the arms over the legs. Again, inhale, reach up, straightening the left leg. Exhale and bend, reaching out. All right, one more, breathing in. And breathing out. Now keep the left knee bent. Inhale, lean back towards your right leg. Left arm goes up. Exhale, take that left forearm to your thigh. Right arm up alongside your head. Twice more. Inhale up and back. Left knee stays bent. And exhale, shift forward. All right, one more time. Breathing in. And breathing out. Now pause in your side angle. 3 more breaths. All right, then inhale, lift up, straightening the left leg. And exhale, release your right arm down. All right, step near the back of your mat. Feet about hip distance apart. As you inhale, press your hips back, float your arms up. As you exhale, just bend your elbows out to the sides and squeeze your shoulder blades together. We'll do that 2 more times. Just the arms move. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, elbows out to the sides, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then one more, breathing in. And breathing out. All right, now fold all the way forward. Walk your hands out to one more downward dog. So hips up. Give the head a little shake, yes and no. All right, then release down to your knees. And then come all the way down onto your back. So as you come onto your back, just start with your knees bent. Feet resting on the floor. Take the feet a little bit wider than your hips and just gently sway the knees side to side. All right, then we'll cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Guide the legs into the chest. Reach through for that left leg. You might grab around the shin or behind the knee. If your proportions don't allow for you to grab all the way through to grab that left leg, you could just grab the right leg instead. That's really the one that we're kind of focusing on in this particular stretch. So legs are moving toward the chest. Wherever you're holding on, we'll take 5 breaths. Two more breaths. All right, release the feet down to the floor. Again, step them a little wider than your hips. And one more time, sway the knees side to side. All right, so second side, this time left ankle crosses the right thigh. Bring the legs in toward your chest. Again, reach through to grab that right leg or left leg and rock a little side to side. Checking in with your outer left hip this time. All right, 5 more rounds of breath. All right, after your 5th round of breath, again, release the feet to the floor. And 1/3 and final time, let the knees sway side to side. All right, as you take both knees in toward your chest, roll to your left side with the knees kind of tucked in pretty close. And then stack your arms so that your right palm is on top, but your fingers are reaching in the direction that you're looking generally. All right, so take a breath in with your hands together. Filling the body up, and then exhale, right arm goes up and back towards the floor behind you. All right, 2 more times. Inhale the arms back together. Fill yourself up. And exhale into the twist. All right, one more like that. Breathing in. And breathing out. Now make any little micro adjustment to your position so that you might be even 5% more comfortable. So for some of us, it's nice to take the left hand to rest on the top knee. You can kind of experiment with how high or low that right arm is resting based on how it feels in your shoulder. And if your right arm isn't all the way on the floor, maybe there's a blanket or a pillow or a block that you could put underneath it for a little support if you want. All right, take 5 breaths. And then after your 5th breath, slowly guide your knees back to center. Do the same twist on the other side. So when you feel ready, roll all the way over to your right side. Again, just starting with your knees bent, drawn in pretty close. And then, as we did before, stack the arms. So left palm is on top this time. Take a breath in. Fill the body up and then exhale that left arm up and back towards the floor behind you. All right, two more like that. Inhale the arms back together. And exhale into the twist. One more, breathing in. And breathing out. And again, make any little micro adjustment to your position so that you're truly comfortable in the shape. So you can change how high or low your left arm is, give it some support, remove some support. Maybe your right hand wants to rest on your top knee. Again, sense and feel the next 5 breaths. Right after your 5th breath, slowly guide your legs back to center. Again, pausing on your back for a moment. And then for the last minute and or minute and a half or so of practice, we'll come into a final resting position. So you might stay with your knees bent. You might straighten out your legs. For some, it may be comfortable to take feet together, knees apart. Again, if you have props, you can use them to support yourself in any way you like. But just allow yourself to come into a position of rest. And while we're here, we'll breathe in a particular way. So for today's practice, breathe in to the count of 3. Hold the breath in for 3 more counts. And then exhale to the count of 6. Again, inhale to 3. Hold it in for 3. And exhale for 6. Now repeat this a few more times at your own speed of counting. Now, after your next long exhale, release the control of the breath. So the breath flows in and out of the body without any sort of restriction. Let your fingers and toes wiggle. Let your head gently sway side to side. All right, and then walk your feet in. Roll to one side. Pause there for a breath or two or 10. And then when you're ready, press yourself back up, coming into a seat. And so as we join back together and seated, we'll take our palms together in front of the heart, bowing to the light within ourselves as well as each other. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, which means peace, peace, peace. May we know peace. Thank you again for practicing with me today. Do these every Friday. I also have a free school group, which is linked in the description. So if you're interested in an additional free class on Sundays, feel free to join the school group. See you again next time. Bye bye.